Are Schengen area and European Union the same for Americans? Imagine planning a trip to Europe and wondering if you need different visas or permissions for each country. It can be confusing, but understanding the difference is key. Let's break down what the Schengen area and the European Union really are and how they affect Americans wanting to visit, work, or live in Europe. The European Union is a group of 27 countries that work together politically and economically. They share laws, policies, and institutions like a parliament and a court system. Many of these countries also use the euro as their currency. Being part of the European Union means you are part of a larger political and economic community with common rules on trade, migration, and rights. The Schengen area is a different concept. It is a zone of 29 European countries that have agreed to remove internal border controls. This means you can travel freely between these countries without showing your passport at every border. The main goal is to make short trips easier, usually up to 90 days within any 180 days. The Schengen area includes most EU countries, but also some non-EU nations like Norway, Iceland, Switzerland, and Liechtenstein. For Americans, this means if you want to visit Europe for a short trip, you will likely need a Schengen visa or just an approved visa waiver. This allows you to travel across the Schengen countries without border checks during your stay. However, if you plan to stay longer or work in Europe, you need to look into specific visas and residency permits from the country where you want to live. It is important to know that not all European Union countries are part of the Schengen area. For example, Ireland is in the European Union but not in Schengen, so you need a different visa for Ireland. Conversely, Norway is in Schengen but not in the European Union, so it has different rules for residency and work. Starting late in 2026, Americans will need to register with the European Union's ETIAS system before entering the Schengen area. This is an electronic travel authorization that is similar to a visa waiver but requires online registration. It is a quick process that costs around €7 and is valid for 3 years or until your passport expires. If you want to live, work, or retire in Europe, understanding these differences helps you plan better. For long-term stays, you will need to apply for the right visa or residence permit from the specific country. Residency in an EU country often grants access to the European Union's single market and other benefits. The Schengen visa mainly helps with travel and border crossing for short visits. In summary, the Schengen area is about traveling without border checks across many European countries, while the European Union is a broader political and economic union. Both impact Americans differently depending on whether they want short-term travel or long-term residence. Knowing these distinctions makes your European plans much clearer and easier to navigate.